Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was gonna say I am getting up in their names. I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people. Life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about relationships. I haven't talked about this in a while, and I told my boy that I was going to get back and talk about relationships recently. So why not make it today? So when we talk about ladies wanting a winner, when we talk about a winner with confidence, we're talking about someone who literally embodies everything that he says he is. A woman wants someone who is confident in their self and confident in who they are as a person. And so, you know, a lot of the times I can't even tell you what it is that a lady sees in me. When I was back in high school, I was broke, but I knew I was on the football team. I knew that I was big and strong. I was always working out. I knew that I was popular, and therefore I garnered some sort of attention. And I knew that, you know, not only did the coaches want me, but people would hang out around me, people would cheer me on. And therefore I knew that with that type of success, with these type of muscles, being bigger, being stronger, that, you know, I wasn't going to be pushed around. I might not be the most popular guy in the world, but I definitely wasn't the lamest. And so I saw that, okay, you might be in love with the muscles. You might just want to have fun. You might just want to try your luck with me. And so I saw that as a thing that people would probably want to get with me with. Sexual desire more so than anything else. But as I got older, there was a shift, right? Now, once I got into college, I started to see people want me because, okay, I'm pre-med, I'm a biologist. And so that made some sense. You want someone with a future, right? It doesn't necessarily have to always be about money, but someone with a future, someone who has something going for himself. All right, cool. So these girls would actually go to college and their future occupation is to be a housewife. The first time I ever heard a girl tell me that she's in school right now, college right now, sophomore year, and her future dream job is to be a housewife, I almost passed out. Like, coming from nothing and being as broke as I was, like, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. I was honestly like shocked. I was in shock. I didn't know what to say. And my friend wanted me to get with her. And I called him a friend, but he really wasn't a friend. He was probably my biggest enemy. And he was masquerading as a friend. Because what friend would have brought that girl to me? Like, one, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to talk down on my lovely ladies. So, but he really wasn't a friend of mine, and I found that out later on. But women were really going to college to be housewives, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it now, but back then when you was a brokey like me, I was like, oh, what is going on here? What in the shenanigans is going on here? Listen, I was distraught, okay? And then I had another girl who was even driving me to classes. And listen, I wanted to just take the bus because she was always making me late for school. But she was always driving me to classes. And she was in bio as well. She was pre-med as well. But guess what? She was only there to find a man. She was more concerned with her car and paying that off. So she dropped out of school to work more and pay off her car. And I was like, wow, that, again, very shocking. Didn't really want to do it herself and was more so just wanting a guy who could eventually do that for her. And for me, that was less shocking. I could kind of feel those vibes. But I also wanted to state that I applaud these girls for for having some sort of resilience, and not allowing their minds to be screwed up. Because a lot of the times when you have something in your life that negatively impacts you, you start to project that on everyone else, right? I've had women who've grown up with the best fathers in the world, and they're looking for their Prince Charming. Maybe their father died. It's always the father that died early who is always the best role model and the best father ever. And that's always the saddest part. The good fathers are always the ones that die a little early. So condolences to anyone who might have had a good father that died early. But those women, they're literally looking for the Prince Charming. They're literally looking for someone who wouldn't leave their side, someone who's going to protect them, someone who's going to be there for them. And I honestly appreciate that. Now, the woman who grew up with a father who was non-existent, a father who didn't pay their child support, a father who was basically a runaway, didn't want to spend any time with his daughter, those women are now looking for a provider. They're looking for someone with the bag, and they're really not offering much of anything, to be honest. They're not offering much of anything at all. And so I was actually going to make a 2-part video on what do you bring to the table, but I think it is important that I speak about that right now, because although you didn't allow your mind to be like clouded with the simple fact that you had a father who didn't necessarily take care of you, but now your mind is jaded in the sense of you don't have to do anything to deserve a man's attention. And you know, it comes from being in a home where you have a single mom who did it all herself, and you don't want to work as hard as she did, but you don't have the skills to be with a man because you never really had anyone to show you how to be with a man. You never really had someone who was in a stable relationship, who had a man treat her right, who had a man show her that he was always going to be there and protect her. You never really had anyone who was going to do that for your mother. And so how can you expect someone to do that for you, right? So a lot of the times we find that women are being raised without the idea or without the knowledge to actually be around a man for real, to actually be a man's comfort, to be a man's, safe place to come home at night. A woman isn't ready to deal with adversity, isn't ready to deal with the struggles that comes from the stress of what a man might have to put up with and deal with. A man can't just up and leave and say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this today, because he has someone that he's coming back home to. You might say, yeah, he was willing to leave so-and-so and so-and-so, but if you was really everything that he wanted, if you was really everything that he needed, he would have figured it out for you. Right now, I'm not saying every man would have done that, but most would. And so being someone that a man will figure it out for, I think is more important, more imperative, and we've kind of lost that. But it's not about the ladies today. It's about how a man can really be a winner and someone that ladies really want to be around. So as I graduated college, I realized that, I've always known that I was pretty good looking. I'm just being humble now. And, back in school, you don't rate yourself as a guy, right? So ladies have always rated me like an 8 or an 8.5. Now, mind you, I was playing sports. I had a lot of muscles, but I was broke. So I guess you could take up 1 point for being broke, and then you can bring another point on for having multiple muscles. So now I'm at a point in my life to where I'm just in shape, but I'm not like muscled up. And so I made up for that. I'm not broke anymore. So I'm going to say I'm about the same level, like an 8, 8.5. Now, I'm not rating myself. I'm just going off of the rate scale that I had from years ago. And so I'm probably going to need a new ranking system or a new rating system. Have the ladies rate me in the comments. But with that being said, I'm good looking enough to where if I say I'm in New York right now, there are girls who just want to have a one-night stand with me just because, hey, he doesn't live in New York, but, you know, he's in New York right now. I want him. Why? He's everything that I want. He's cute, tall, successful, and has enough money to come in and out. And he's confident. He's good looking. He's an artist. He does this and that. I had a girl who didn't even want to speak to me because all she thought I knew was finance. All she thought I was a finance guy until she saw that I also make music. I was on stage. I was rapping. I was confident. I was moving around. I was doing my thing. I had people dancing to me. And then she was like, oh, I didn't know you do all that. Then she wanted my number. Then she wanted to, you know, get to know the guy. Now she wanted to know more. She was interested. She was like, oh, not only is he handsome, but he's not a nerd. He's more. And so, you know, a lot of the times these women don't want to get to know you until they see something that sparks their interest. They see something that gets them excited. They see something that's like, oh, that's different. And so, you know, I've had a girl reject me for being a certain sign, right? Like you have a zodiac sign. I had a girl reject me for being a certain sign, but I've also had a girl reject me for being an artist. Whereas I would also reject women for not wanting or liking hip hop or liking R&B. You might say, oh, I only listen to gospel, or I only listen to country music. Well, you can't be with me because what I like is not what you like. Therefore, I'm going in a different direction. And, you know, when living life in that way, like, hey, sometimes you want somebody who can bop to what you bop to. And that is exciting. But sometimes exciting isn't always what's best for you. So you have to keep that in mind. So what separated me from the guy who was just an athlete, or the guy who was just a biologist? I think what separated me now was just simply being responsible. You put yourself in a different tier of man when you're responsible. You know, a lot of the times these ladies shy away, especially these older ladies. They shy away from guys who are young because they don't believe they have their own. They don't believe that they're able to do what it is that they have to do. They don't believe that this guy can really do for you. But guys, when you have money, listen, you don't have to spend nothing. You don't have to spend nothing, absolutely nothing. Listen, I mean, by the time I hit 30 and I buy the dream car that I said I wanted to buy, I can buy it right now, but I'm trying to put a milestone in place because I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm 30 if I bought the car right now, to be honest with you. And when I buy this nice vehicle, and let's say I was single, which I'm not, but let's say I was, and I'm just driving around. I mean, I was turning heads before. I mean, fellas, we would continue to turn heads. And, you know, they just want to feel nice. They just want to feel good. Being in the vehicle is enough, to be honest with you. That's all it really takes. And so, you know, obviously I'm not driving the nicest and most dazzling car, but a first date for me is just going out to get some food. I'm sure that most guys probably can't even do that these days. And so the dates that I'm taking people on or I'm doing is probably something that they're not used to. And I'm not really spending that much money, people. Like, I'm really not. I'm spending like $40, $50 on a date, where people are out here advertising that they're spending $300, $400 on a date. I don't know where y'all going. I'm going to eat and I'm going home. And if you like me, we might talk a little bit more. And then the next time we see each other is at my place. And guess what's going down at my place? And most of the time, they come into this nice 3-bedroom home and they're like, oh my goodness, this is yours? And I'm like, yes. Come and sit down here. Come and check out this massage chair. Come and watch a movie. Listen, man. At this point in time, they're like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on? You know, I mean, the expectation is hopefully he doesn't live with his mom at my age. Hopefully. You know, when I got to 18 and I was working at Domino's, I had a guy tell me, oh, you're going to end up spending a lot of money on women. And he was a lot heavier than most people. And of course, he had a vehicle. He was a driver. He was older. And, you know, he's probably used to tricking if you got it. And for me, I was never on that type of time. I was never someone who would be taken advantage of. I was never someone who would allow myself to be taken advantage of. And so because of that, I had a different approach, a different mentality to who I would even hang out with. A lot of the times, these women just wanted to walk in the park. A lot of the times, these girls just wanted some ice cream. And I'm not saying it because, oh, you're of so-and-so age. Listen, I got 30-year-olds making six figures who can still just go out to a party for free and dance. They'll buy me the drinks because they know I'm the catch, right? And it's not because they're not the catch either. It's just because, listen, we all got money and I'm not really here to spend it on a person who's not worth it. And so you got to prove it to me because there's less of me than there is you. And that's the truth, right? And so they're trying to show me that they're capable of being around me long term, someone who is as responsible, someone who can really take care of them. They want to prove themselves now so that they can get something back later. And so a lot of the times I'll find that, listen, I don't even spend, I probably have broken even because it's not even that I'm asking a woman to pay for shit. Like, no, I'm responsible enough to where that's not even something that I'm talking about or considering to do. But I'll go out, I'll pay for the first date, and maybe I'll say something like, I don't want to go out the next date. And she'll be like, I'll pay. Like, that's just what comes out of their mouth. I'll pay. And it's not like I don't got the money, fellas. They know I got the money. You know I got the money. I know I got the money. I just don't want to go out and pay when I don't feel like it. And I don't have to say I don't want to pay when I don't feel like it, but I don't want to go out because, like, I didn't plan on going out. And so if I am going to go out, okay, if you paying for it, sure, why not? Let me spend a little bit more time with you and get to know you. And honestly, the only reason I'm going is not because of the food now, is because of you. So, like, at the end of the day, like, I eat. I told you guys that my favorite thing to do is buy groceries, right? That's what I splurge on. So I'm not going to a restaurant because I want to get some food. No, like, it's because I'm going to spend time with this girl and she offered to pay. And a lot of the times they're not taking me to no fancy restaurants, guys. They're really not. They're taking me to, like, Pita. They're taking me to Qdoba. There was once I was taken to a steakhouse or something like that. You know, those six-figure chicks, they'll do stuff like that on a regular. But, you know, I do those things as well. You know, you take them out, you buy them a couple of drinks, you do whatever it is that you do. They want to have fun, you want to have fun, we want to have fun. And so, you know, you're living life, you're enjoying yourself. And I'm not going to lie, it was a roller coaster when I was not single. It was a big roller coaster. But it all came from, one, staying in shape. I had just left the Army, so I was in good shape. And I continued to stay in shape, continued to work out, continued to keep myself up and clean. I'm not out here looking a whole mess. Having a decent job, continuing to have an income, showing up every single day, even though you don't have to work. No girl wants a guy who's just sitting in the house all day. And so I'm out here, I'm working, I'm doing things in order to just keep myself up and be able to provide more and more and more, right? And so even when a girl is making more than me in W-2 income, they know, okay, he got these investments, he's making all these passive moves, he's doing this and that, he is good to go. And so ladies love a winner. Ladies absolutely love a winner. Ladies love a guy who's going after it, a guy who's confident, a guy who's clean, a guy who looks good. And I know I'm physically attractive. I walk into a club, I start dancing. I start moving around. I'm confident. I don't gotta look at no way. I don't gotta look at no girl. I don't gotta ask nobody for no attention. They gonna come to me. If I remember I was at a point where I was giving girls my phone, showing them other girls, telling them to text her back, like, tell her I'm at a party right now with a lovely lady. And the girl would literally take my phone, text the other girl, he's at a party with a lovely lady. Now, ladies, let me know in the comment section down below if I'm toxic for that. I probably was. Because I was at a point in my life where, oh, word, she ain't want to come out tonight? Okay, watch me get these 5 girls and watch me do this and this and that. And so, yeah, that was... that was me, people. But we all grow. We all grow out of that stage. That's exciting, but life isn't all about excitement. Life is about, you know, being whole and being one with who you are and understanding who you are. And I think it's most important that you understand who you are. You're not going to get every single girl if you're the guy who just loves to play chess and read books. But what you will do is find someone who is cool with that and understands that you're not going to move off your rock because you are who you say you are. You get into the shape, you love yourself, you start to work out a little bit, and then they'll say, okay, this is somebody who can possibly protect me also. Girls love to get picked up. Girls love to be lifted. If you can't do that, then what are we doing? Like, you can't even do the little thrust, you feel me? So, like, you gotta have a little bit more. I know there's some girls who's gonna hit me up like, the little thrust, what you mean? But, yeah, I mean, like, that's all a part of it. Now, obviously, some girls will say they like big men. Some girls will say they like skinny men. But at the end of the day, girls love confident men. Girls love a guy who knows who he is. And you don't even got to be rich. So I don't think I really brought up money too much here because, again, it's really not a factor too much. They do want somebody who's responsible. But if you're not, they'll still play around with you if you look the part. And so, listen, listen. There are plenty of girls who want to feel as though you really want them. But they'll play around with you if you can play the part. And like I said, I've traveled to New York. I've traveled to other states. I tell a girl I'm here for a day or two. And trust me, if I tell them come over to the hotel, they're coming. Even if I don't even know them, even if I never really spoke to them, there's a couple of girls who I was just like, yo, I'm here for a day. Come see me. And so, to my surprise, I wasn't surprised. And I'm not saying that they're really cute girls that guys have really been trying to get. And, you know, if they can get a one night off where nobody really knows who I am and nobody really knows what she's doing, she'll do it. Because why not? So, I mean, when it comes to what you bring to the table, I mean, I bring a lot to the table. I bring a lot of different things, and I'm not pitching myself. But when you are looking at your significant other for what she can bring to the table as well, you probably don't want the girl who's out here not really offering much of anything, like no substance, no nothing to the table. Like, I love a woman who could at least stimulate my mind, at least make me think a little bit, at least make me say, okay, that made sense, you know? Make some sense. Make me think a little bit. Inspire me to do more, maybe, huh? That would be nice. Let me know I'm doing great, but also inspire me to do more. I don't think I'm inspired to do more. I don't think any woman really inspires me to do more because I don't think they really understand what it is that I'm doing for real. And so, yeah, it is what it is. But if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.